Hi guys, and welcome back to another classic gaming review. Today we've got Strikers 1945 Plus on the NeoGeo. Right, Strikers 1945 Plus. The developer, I've been struggling with this one. Surprise, surprise. Psycho? No, it's not. We're going to leave it at Psycho. Can't make my mind up. We'll leave it at that. The publisher was also Psycho and SNK. The producer was Shin Nakamura and Masaki Izutani. Don't know if that's right, but never mind. It was originally brought out in the arcades, then the NeoGeo, and then the PlayStation Portable, but it wouldn't come out on that till 2009. It was also available for iOS. The original release date was 1999, and this is, of course, a shoot-'em-up. Now, the quirky little bit about this one is, this game is actually a remake of Strikers 1945-2, and that never ever came out on the NeoGeo. It actually only came out on the arcades, Sega Saturn, the PlayStation, and then the PlayStation Network, iOS and Android. So this is a remake, I suppose, almost for the NeoGeo itself. I just find that a little bizarre, but there you have it. Well, you know how this works by now. It hasn't really got a story, so for story, if you're new to the channel, we always give it 8 out of 10. And so on and so forth with the other scores. Right, I'll shut my trap now. Let's get on with this review. Audio. Well, you really don't get a chance to listen to the music, to be quite honest, because you're too busy and everything that's blowing up around you sort of takes precedence. But the music, I wouldn't say it's outstanding, it is more than enough for this game. It's got quite a thumping track, but it never seems to be fast, if you get what I'm saying. It sounds more like some sort of military band than an actual hard-hitting fast tune. But it doesn't take anything away from the game. The explosions in the game are quite fantastic, so are the shots coming at you, your bullets, your rockets and whatever else is flying around, the explosions are all pretty much spot on, and as you would expect from a NeoGeo console. I'm more than happy, about it, but it could have been that little bit better. But I am still going to give it 8 out of 10. Controls. Well, as you would expect on any NeoGeo system, they are simple. It is up, down, left and right to move your plane. Press one button and that's your main weapon, but hold the same button down and it will fire a bomb. You don't get a lot of those, by the way. Hold down the other button and that's when all the other planes will come in, annihilating everything in front of them, and let's be honest, saving your ass because you're going to need it. As for the actual movement of the plane, well, there is no speed ups, and I feel the movement is probably spot on. Any slower and you're never going to be able to get out of the way of some of the incoming fire, but too fast and you'll just be basically moving yourself into the oncoming fire. But there's a lot happening on screen. At times you will want there to be a little bit of a speed up, but it isn't going to happen. All in all though, I think the controls are pretty much A1 for this. I'm going to give it 9 out of 10. Graphics. Well, I think for a game which is nearly 20 years old, I think this is absolutely fantastic. Yes, they're not maybe as crisp and as sharp as we would have liked, but more than adequate. And this back in the day would have looked absolutely fantastic. In fact, we all know it's an arcade perfect port. But, well, there is no but. There's no slowdown. There's absolutely tons happening on screen all at once. The colours have tons of depth. They really do pop. The variety of things happening all at once is incredible. I do wish the screen could have been a little bit bigger, but it isn't. I think they've done that in this way to keep it incorporating with exactly the way it looked at the arcade. And I've got no real arguments. It's not perfect, not by today's standards, but you know what? It's bloody close. I'm going to give it another 8 out of 10. Gameplay. Well, you've got one of 6 planes you can choose from, or you can actually opt for a random choice. Now, the first 4 stages are in random order, while the last 4 are sequential. Now, you will collect weapon power-ups, bombs and gold bars for points. Now, each plane does have its own unique super shot, which is charged by, destroying the enemies, and then it's fired by holding and releasing the fire button. Super shots can be stored. Now, that's something I wasn't doing. I was using them as quickly as possible. Now, although the number will vary from plane to plane, using a bomb results in a large friendly fighter swooping onto the screen and blocking shots while returning fire for a few seconds. I don't think I was using that. I was using a super shot where more than one fighter was coming on the screen at once. But anyway, after you do beat the final boss, the game starts all over again from the beginning, and it's a higher difficulty level, although this was more than high enough for me. And that's really it. You can complete this game in under 20 minutes and then start again at a higher difficulty level. I must admit, and you'll see my own game footage, you don't get to set the difficulty level at the beginning, so you could argue this is easy. Yeah, right. As with all shoot 'em ups, at some point they're going to get repetitive. This isn't one I'm looking to pull off the shelf because, to be honest, to be able to complete the game in less than 20 minutes, it's a very short game. So something I do like to throw on occasionally, but certainly not every day of the week. I'm going to give it 7 out of 10 for gameplay. Overall, this is a shoot 'em up I've really enjoyed playing, although it is a very short game. You know, less than 20 minutes to actually complete it, and then you're starting all over again. But to be honest, that 20 minutes was more than enough for me. At times it did feel like a bullet hell, because I'm trying to work out where I'm going to move my plane next, and I'm concentrating more on that than actually trying to shoot or hit anything. With all that being said though, this is a game that does come highly recommended, and I have had an absolute blast. I am giving it an overall score of 8 out of 10. Well, there you have it. That's Strikers 1945 Plus. It's a great game. You've got to try this one. Play it by any means. It would be very expensive to pick this up on the NeoGeo cartridge system, so I probably would recommend emulation on this one. But it's a fantastic game, a game I thoroughly enjoy playing. It is something I don't pick up off the shelf a lot, but when I do, I just have a quick 20 minutes blasting through it, yeah, and I've completed the game. I must admit though, I've never tried the next onslaught where it does actually get more difficult, because I think that is enough for me. You know, the amount of shots coming in at you is incredible. Right, well, I'm going to push off out the way. I'd like to thank you for watching and thank you for subscribing. Let me know your thoughts in your comments below, and I'll catch you all again. Take care.